All hearts are beating his word. Light upon light upon light, shining as bright as the sun. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Love upon love upon love, all hearts are beating his word. Light upon light upon light, shining as bright as the sun. So let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Oh, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Yes, how about a round of applause for Maria and Bryn? Bringing beautiful energy here. Well, thank you and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. My name is Michelle May, and I'm one of the Board of Trustees. I'm going to share a few things that we've got coming up, and we've got a lot coming up. So we'd like to start off first, though, is honoring the birthdays of May. Every last Sunday, we celebrate birthdays. So for those of you who had a birthday in May, please stand. I know there's a few, Harry and Rod. Oh, awesome. So we're going to go right into singing for you guys. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear May birthdays. Happy birthday to you. Yay. And of course, after we'll be celebrating with some treats in the back, so please feel free to stay and join us for that. And then this coming week, we do have Spiritual Living Circles with Anna Myers up in Princeville. That's going to be on Wednesday from 3 to 4. And then coming up on Saturday, we have our twice monthly Powerful or Powerless with Reverend Diane. And Katie helps out with that too. And that is combining the science of mind philosophy with the 12-step program philosophy. So whether or not you're in 12-step programs, you're more than welcome to join us and learn how we combine both those philosophies in our lives and how to use them on a daily basis. So that happens on the 1st and 3rd Saturdays. So that's going to be the 3rd, June 3rd from 10 to 11:30 right here. And we also have a book that goes along with that in the bookstore, along with other great books in the Science of Mind magazine. And today it's going to be Ron LeMay that's going to be taking care of the bookstore. Yeah. And then in June, we have lots coming up. So I'm going to just kind of briefly talk about everything, but it is also in your pamphlet, but you want to mark these dates because we've got some great things happening, some different things happening this month. And the first is going to be an evening with Deb Valentina. If you don't mind standing. Yay! She recently came back from a trip to China where she was doing some outreach and teaching and empowering women there. So on that's going to be a Tuesday, June 13th from 6:30 to 8. You can come and join Deborah and hear about her trip. Are you going to have photos and a PowerPoint and That's a yes, she will. So come and join us so you can learn about her trip and what she did over there in a form of service work for sure. And then we're going to be doing another healing circle. That's going to be towards the end of the month on June 22nd, which is a Thursday evening, where we come and it's just a way to gather together to leave everything behind. It's silence, done in silent meditation, but we have music that accompanies that. And it's very beautiful and very healing. So we invite you all to that. And then you've been hearing the Reverends, Rita and Patrick, talk a lot about this book called The Game Called Life. So they're actually going to do a workshop on that book. It sold out last week. It's been flying off the shelves literally, so they've got more on order to come in, but they're going to be doing a workshop on that. And then it's going to be our 4th birthday here on Kauai as CSL Kauai. So coming up soon. Big deal. Every year we throw ourselves a big party because that's what we do. We throw parties. But every year with our birthday, we also have a fundraiser. So we do something different every year. So this year, it's Here We Grow Again. For a couple of months, we've been doing this whole idea of gardening and retilling. So we're continuing that theme. And just like we had when we first came into this specific space, all the people who pitched in, and we call them the Faith Lift angels that we have on the back wall, Everybody who participates in this fundraiser will also be in another wall. We're going to clear out that wall, build a whole new beautiful mural in the theme of gardening and flowers, but your name will be there honoring what you have gifted to us so that we can grow again. And how we're needing to grow again is just some things like new audio visual, curtains. There's a list actually, if you've been on Facebook, on email, you've seen lots that have been going on that it's just to help revive us and help us move forward in what we're doing here for the community of CSL, but also the community here on Kauai. So if you're interested in participating and helping us out, you can do that on Facebook, online, on our website, which is cslkauai.org. You're also more than welcome to slip us a check behind the back or some cash. Doesn't matter. It's all welcomed, and it all goes towards our beautiful center and our ministry and everybody here in the community. So that's happening now, and that will continue until July when we have our big party. And then, of course, the Reverends are also getting ready and have been practicing and rehearsing for Love Notes 2, which is their cabaret that they've created for us. If you were here last year, they did Love Notes, and now it's going to be Love Notes 2. It's a completely different production, and Deb Valentina's on the decorating, and she's going to transform our space into a cabaret space. And it's great. Last year was great fun. It will include drinks and a little poo-poo buffet and lots of fun, but definitely showing and highlighting the talents of the Revs, because they have a whole theatrical background that you may not know about, and they get to actually be very creative and gift that to us. So tickets are already on sale, and you can see any one of us regular members for tickets, or if you want to find out where online, you can get them. I told you, I warned you. I had to catch up. Well, today we have a very special service. The Revs are away. They went to see their granddaughter's graduation in New Mexico, so I know they're watching online. They've already warned us on that, too, that they would be peeping in on us. And we have lots of other people peeping in on us, too, which is really great with our online broadcast that Ron is doing. But what I'd like to do to start off our service is invite the Reverend for today, Reverend Diane.
Aloha. Good morning. Welcome. Let me just land here. So Mom and Dad are away, and they left me in charge. And they sent me a text this morning, no wild parties. What do you think, guys? I think we should have some fun today. But I do want to welcome you. You have landed this morning in a Science of Mind community, and some of you might be new and you might not know what that means. In the Centers for Spiritual Living, the Science of Mind philosophy is taught, and we live it in our lives every day. We don't just talk about it. What we live every day is the knowledge that God is right where we are and moving in and through each one of us, and that because of that, all the divine qualities that we attribute to that one power and that one presence are available for our use. The Science of Mind philosophy teaches us how to do that. So I'm very happy that you landed here today with us, and we'll learn more about that. I would like to ask Michelle LeMay to please stand at the ready, of course, to light our peace candle. One of the things that the Centers for Spiritual Living really believes is that peace is a possibility on the planet. And so we are going to sit in a moment of silence and just remember that truth, that right where we are, peace is. Thank you for remembering this truth for all of us and for the world.
Well, we usually and tend to have new faces here. Is there anybody here for the very first time? All right, welcome. Well, God, William, every time, and he gets me every time too. Well, we'd love to honor you. For those of you who are new and you'd care to, please stand. We have something that we want to share with you as we welcome you into our home and our community. So welcome for being here. And there's plenty of people who are watching online too, but we all know something about her and about ourselves, but let's share it first. And we all know on cue, we know that you are magnificent. And we know that about ourselves, and we can say that for other people and to other people because we really are magnificent too. So let's say that to ourselves and for ourselves. I am magnificent. How about one more time? I am magnificent. Oh yeah, I really felt it that time for sure. And we are going to share it with those who are watching online, and Rita and Patrick and Melissa and Judah and Michael and Carrie and everybody else who's watching here on island and off island. Let's tell them as well. You are magnificent. Yay. And now we've got friends and family all around us, so please, to the left, to the right of you, share your magnificence with each other. And you are magnificent.
You are magnificent. Thank you for being here today. Well, the party's already happening, so let's everybody stand up and open with our opening song.
The joy you can bring, oh remember, you are of this earth, oh remember, all that you are worth, oh remember, all that you know, remember, seas take time to grow, remember, all that you are, remember,
by divine appointment. I give thanks that each being here, each love being here is an expression of the divine, the one power, the one presence showing up as each face in this room and each face online watching. I give thanks for all of you being here today to celebrate the magnificence that we truly are. I know that this service is a blessing to each person present here today. And I give thanks for you and allow it to unfold in its own amazing way. And so it is.
Sing along. Remember just who you are, oh remember, you're a being of the stars, oh remember, the wisdom within, oh remember, all the joy you can bring, oh remember. You are of this earth, oh remember, all that you are worth, oh remember, all that you know, remember, seas take time to grow, remember, all that you are, remember, the power of
Thank you, Maria, Christina, and Bren. We have the opportunity today, being Memorial Day weekend, to take the time for a remembrance ceremony. This service will be all about remembering something. And we're just going to take a little bit of time to remember those who have made their transition recently in our lives. Those we wish to honor for the relationships that we shared with them, those we wish to honor in their passing. We have a number of people from our own congregation that have made transitions recently, and I want to remind you so that we can call each one of those to mind. Papa Joe, Sean Lysowski, Matt Tester, Khalil, and John Lidgate. And so Centers for Spiritual Living Kauai honors these beings that shared so much of themselves with us as a community. And now we want to offer you the opportunity to come forward and remember by speaking the names and bringing a flower for those that are in your life. My dear friends, Michelle and Deborah will assist you in coming forward for those who choose to. If you have your own flower, please bring it forward through the center aisle. If you did not, we have lots of flowers here that you can simply take one and speak their name, and then we will put it in the vase, and we will make a beautiful bouquet of all of our love together. Reverend Peggy, Dr. Peggy Price will be assisting us, and you'll know exactly what to do. So Michelle and Deb will come up row by row. And you can come to one of us and speak the name that you wish to and put it in one of these vases. You can have a hug too.
Yes, it's a long overdue. It's been so long since I remembered her.
Gabrielle West.
Ruth Cooney.
Ward Flynn, Janet and William Dorrance,
Abe Goldstein.
Rick Cox,
James and Bertha Adams.
Joshua Moss.
Chris Mag.
Jim, Janet, and Peter Buckley, Pat Hughes as attorney.
Bruce McCandless and Dennis Draculis.
My brother Mario, my sister Carmen, and my mother Lydia. Thank you.
My dad Don Phillips and my brother Tom Wade.
my grandfather, Robert Smith, my auntie, Rose Hilton, and my cousin, who's really like a brother to me, Lamont.
Mother, Nadia Marie, my Dad.
My mother, Rita Decker, my father, Otto Decker, and the father of my children, Ian McLeod.
Angel Vargas, Sam Isadora, Tiny Ramos.
My son Matthew and my mother Mary.
My son Joel, my husband Reggie.
My sister, Sandra, Suzanne's mom and dad, Rod and Margot Edwards, and my mom and dad, Earl Bud Stover, and Gertrude John.
For my mother Genevieve, my father John Barr, my auntie Audrey, and for John Lidgate.
Parents are forever friends.
Wayne and Enzo and all those who died in the skydive crash last year.
My grandmother Edna and Hans.
And so we take a moment to hold all these loved ones in our hearts and to know that each one of us has been touched by the passing of a loved one, and we share this in community and remember this today. Mahalo for opening yourself up today.
I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am.
so we take this moment in consciousness, recognizing and remembering the presence of the One, which is the truth of all life, the source of all that is. That each of us is a divine expression of this one power and presence, forever eternal, unconditional love. It is where we came from, it is where we are now, and it's where we go after we shed this physical form. We are all enfolded in this love as we remember those who have gone before us, as we remember that this eternal essence we call the soul is the power of spirit indwelling each and every one. And so as we remember and reflect upon those who have moved on, made their transitions, we remember with gratitude the things we learned from them, the love we shared with them, the gifts and blessings we also exchanged with them. For their memories remain forever in our hearts. And so recognizing this truth that we are eternal beings, born of love, living in love, and continuing in love, we give thanks for these memories. We give thanks for these beautiful flowers. We give thanks for life itself, every breath and every heartbeat, as we release now into that divine mind, that love and law of spirit, and say together, and so it is.
Please allow me to see myself in you until no matter what comes, I always remember we are one. May I love all people and not to with all of creation and love, so that grace fills my days and you are all I see and think of. I love my life, I love my life with you. I love my life, I love my life with you. I live my life, I live my life for you. I love my life, I love my life with you. Cosmic dancer, my closest friend, bringer of joy without end. Cosmic dancer, where have you been? Please come and dance with me again. If my heart opens with compassion and I am complete as I am, to where I need nothing, could only be with you holding my hand. Walk with me, come talk with me, move with me, come close to me, dance with me in ecstasy, all the way with me eternally. Cosmic dancer, my closest friend, bringer of joy without end. Cosmic dancer, where have you been? Let's fall in love again. I'm floated in the starlight in your arms tonight. Everything's gonna be alright. I'm floated in the starlight in your arms tonight. Everything's gonna be alright. I'm floated in the starlight in your arms tonight. Everything's gonna be alright. I'm floated in the starlight in your arms tonight. Everything's gonna be alright. Cosmic dancer, my closest friend, bringer of joy without end. Cosmic dancer, I'm so deep in again.
Thank you so much, Maria Christina. And thank you all for bringing your tenderness and bringing your love and bringing your hearts today. I could feel it in the room. When we sang that beautiful chant by Reverend Melissa Felipe, I am remembering who I am. Just what is it that we're remembering? What is it that we might have forgotten? When we take a moment to think about who we really are, who we really, really, really are, and remember that, then we move into an expression of the divine that is indeed miraculous. I remember 20 plus years ago, I had a very good friend who was a therapist. And you know what happens when you spend an hour and a half in a car with a therapist? The whole conversation was about questioning me, of course. No one questions the therapist, right? It's whoever else is around. What makes you happy, Diane? I had 3 children at that time. My youngest was in preschool, and I was starting to think about maybe going back to work. And she was self-appointed as my assistant to help me find the path that was mine. And we had been on retreat before together, to a women's retreat at a Buddhist center in Idlewild, California. And you've been there, yes. And what I said to her was, remember sitting by the creek in meditation? That's when I have been the happiest in my life, is sitting in meditation. And in her way, she said, well, Diane, you can't live your life in meditation. What do you really want to do? What really makes you happy? And I said, well, you know, you asked me, when have I been happiest? And I remembered that. And what I know today is that it was that connection to spirit that I was searching for, that was missing in my life, and that I was acknowledging as being present in me when I sat by that creek in meditation. I had no idea at the time that she was about to introduce me to the science of mind at the Agape International Center of Truth. And I was to sit in that audience of 3,000 people and hear Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith say, "Who do you think you are?" Well, my name's Diane Decker. I'm a mom of 3. You know, and no, that's not what he was talking about. Who do you think you are? And if you know him, you know he's a little shorter than I am, and he's like in your face with, who do you think you are? Who do you really think you are? And I sat in the audience that day and I cried because I knew I had come home. I knew I had come home to a place within myself that what they were saying and the songs they were singing spoke my language. This wasn't just another Christian church that I was trying out. This was a place that spoke the language that I felt in my heart and I heard in my mind. And I was home, and I didn't really know it in my mind at the time, but I felt it in my body. And so I ask you today, what makes you happiest? Where do you feel that connection to your joy? Raymond Charles Barker wrote, God moves into action in you and by means of you in order to expand the you that you know into the larger you that is yet to be. I had no clue 23 years ago that my intended path was to be a minister of religious science. No clue. There were no markers on the path. There were no visions. There was no voice from above that said, Diane. There was just that sweet, sweet calm that I felt in meditation that attracted me to it as a respite in my life from the world and the things I had to do to make money, raise my kids, do this, do that. And so I suspect there's something in you also that speaks your name so loudly that you would just be there every moment if you could. So the teaching of the science of mind lets you know that, well, what if there's nothing you're supposed to be doing? I grew up with a lot of supposed tos. I grew up in a stable family household, male-female, with 3 children and a house and 2 cars. I was very blessed. But that's what I knew I was supposed to do. And that's not the way my life unfolded. I did get the 3 kids part right. But ultimately, everything else is different. My parents didn't raise me to be a minister. They didn't even take me to church on Sunday. And so, you know, how was I to know that who I am today was who I would be called to be? So what if you're not supposed to be doing anything in particular, but living your divine expression? Spirit within you, and this is what I was catching in meditation, spirit within me knew what my soul needed. And there's that within each one of you that knows the truth, knows what your soul is supposed to be doing. We have to tune into it periodically. Sometimes the world is so noisy. There's so much happening out there in the world that we don't have the time to listen to that gentle, soft voice within us that whispers. It doesn't bang you on the head. It's not a loud voice from above. It whispers your name and your calling. Ernest Holmes reminds us that every time you conceive of a new idea, it is God expressing through you. And so we had the blessing, ministerial tangent, here we go. We had the blessing of doing a visioning group just recently. And what we do in the visioning group is we open to the divine. We open to what wants to be expressed through us. And several people had had amazing experiences with that, getting new information that they totally didn't expect. Every time we conceive of a new idea, it is God expressing through us. Well, how could it be anything else, right? Because we believe that God is what we are, that God is every cell of our body. It is beating our heart. It is flowing the blood through our body. It is thinking us. And so when those fresh ideas come through, or those really unexpected things that you want, who, me? A minister? Yes, you. Your life is what capital Y you say it is. The you that's within you saying, do this. Meditate more. Do what makes you happy. Because that is the divine that is moving in and through you. You know we have an inner compass, right? I was reading, where'd my books go? Edwin Gaines this week, The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity, available now in the bookstore near you. Ron, please see Ron LeMay after service. The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. And she talks about joy being your compass. God has given us an inner guidance system to help us find our divine purpose. It's there within us. And do you know what that looks like, that inner compass? It looks like joy. It looks like thriving in every area of your life. When you get to that place where you're like, this is so awesome, I just want to do this all the time, keep doing it. Because that is your divine purpose. That is what you are called to do. And those are the ways that you are meant to be of service in the world. It's what brings you joy. Oh, well, I couldn't do that. You know, isn't that like selfish and self-centered, and really shouldn't I be struggling and suffering? And no. No. We are meant to thrive here. So many of the wisdom traditions of the ages, the ancient teachings tell us that look at the lilies of the field. Look at these beautiful flowers. Look at the animals in the ocean. They don't go, I'm supposed to do. They just do who they are. Look at this amazing diversity of flowers that we all brought today. Each one of these is doing what they are, expressing the joy of spirit. The practitioner does not try to create the reflection in their lives. She tries to embody the image. Standing in front of the mirror, looking at yourself in the mirror, do you say, oh, my hair's getting gray. Look at the wrinkles around my eyes. What's that over there? I've been out in the sun too long. Or do you look into your eyes and say, there is a divine expression of the one, living their passion and experiencing joy. Wow, my dad's eyes. I don't need to highlight my hair. It's coming in natural. How do you embody what is you? How do you express who you are? What do you do every day to remember who you really are? Well, I have a poem to read you from Hafez. This is Ramadan this weekend, right? Started yesterday, and so I thought I'd honor our brothers and sisters of another tradition and read from Hafez. This poem is called The Seed Cracked Open. It used to be that when I would wake in the morning, I could with confidence say, what am I going to do? That was before the seed cracked open. Now, Hafez is certain. There are two of us housed in this body, doing the shopping together in the market, and tickling each other while fixing the evening's food. Isn't he wonderful? Now when I awake, all the internal instruments play the same music. God, what love mischief can we do for the world today? What love mischief can we do together by being who we really are? What brings you joy? Remember that. Express your joy and give thanks for the ways you get to serve that are uniquely you. You know we have the option to trust God in our lives, don't you? We have that option. We can always choose the other and have your misery cheerfully refunded if you'd like. But just give it a shot. Give it a shot. Find out what brings you great joy and give that to the world. There is no planet, sun, or star could hold you if you but knew what you are, Emerson told us. And I say, if you knew who you are, who you really are, is a divine expression of the one. I would like to end with a remembering of who I am. A remembering that right where I am there is joy, there is beauty, there is power, there is love. A remembering that who I am is the expression of the divine, moving in and through every cell of my body and in and through every cell of your body. And so I stand centered in that knowledge for you and for me. That when we walk out of here today, we are expressing what makes us happy. We are expressing who we really are in everything that we do. There's a place for you to express. And if you haven't found it, go get it. Mahalo. Now it is time for our sacred giving affirmation. If you would take your offering and just give it some love of who you are, infuse it with your joy, knowing that a gift given in joy is multiplied exponentially. That what you place in the basket with joy goes 10 times further. And so bring your offering, bring your blessing of the basket as it goes by, and speak the words of the affirmation with me together. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I give freely today, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. Karen Drucker's Gratitude Song.
So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have.
And we are so blessed as we do remember who we really are. That we are all abundant beings, all expressions of that one true source of all supply and all good. And so we bless these gifts. We bless every hand that brought them to us. And we know that as they go forward to do good work here in this beautiful center as well as all around the world. And so we give thanks for this. We know that as we are the givers, we are also given to. So in love and gratitude, we say together, and so it is.
I want to take a moment and think about our children. We weren't able to have children's gathering in the other room today, but we know they're in the room with us. Hi, Everett. And so we take a moment to bless the children, knowing that right where they are, everything they need to grow into amazing human beings is even now being provided. All the helpful beings are moving around them to provide respect and love and abundance and joy. And so I give thanks that each one is their own unique divine expression of the one, and every child everywhere is expressing that and has the freedom to do so. I am so blessed for the peace and the love that envelops the children of our world, and I simply give thanks for it, knowing that it is already done, and so it is. Well, if you would like prayer after service, we have a couple of ways that can happen. You know, of course, on the information table, we have the yes box, and the reason we call it the yes box is because whatever prayer request you put in there, the universe says yes. Okay. Whatever prayer you put in there, the universe says yes. Very good. Okay. If you would like a personal prayer, Reverend Dr. Peggy Price is available to pray with you up here after service. So please make your way forward. And those of us who are ready for the wild party while Mom and Dad are away are going to go that way and have cake. All right, well, let's join together in our closing song now.
Sing along. Love is all around me, below and above. I'm so grateful to love and be loved. It's ever flowing from within. Always right here to receive and be given. I surrender in love, wide open to this love. I surrender in love all the way. Love is all around me, below and above. I'm so grateful to love and be loved. It's ever flowing from within. Always right here to receive and be given. I surrender in love, wide open to this love. I surrender in love all the way.
We had so many people in service to this community today. I just want to give thanks to all of them. Michelle for the announcements, and Katie and Lynn for greeting today. Thank you so much. Our ushers, Deborah, Sue, and Michelle. Live stream, Ron Stover and Jonathan on sound. Of course, our amazing music with Maria, Christina, and Bren. Thank you so much. You know, the Revs did the programs before they left. Thank you, Revs. And everyone who brought flowers, I'm so grateful. We had Sola and Analia and Ron Stover doing hospitality for us today. Thank you, everyone who is online. We love and appreciate you. And I just give thanks for all of you choosing to be with us here today. Mahalo.
Love is all around me, below and above. I'm so grateful to love and be loved. It's ever flowing from within. Always right here to receive and be given. I surrender in love, wide open to this love. I surrender in love all the way. Oh, that'd be so sweet. Thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hey, everybody, we have something to celebrate with our wild party. Janice came home. Janice came home and is recovering now in her home. Thank you, Loya, for picking her up and getting her settled.